Hey, welcome back to Sodatime Restoration. We got Cavalier 51. The machine was probably produced for about 10 years, 1950 through probably, I'd say probably the late 50s. Customer just wanted to get this thing up and running again. It had been part of their grandfather's business, but you'll see this big old belt in there. They call it the ammo belt. 51 it'll hold. I've kind of taken this thing a little bit apart, so it's not in the correct position right now. It's kind of got stuck back in here, but we're going to take it back apart. I pulled the compressor out probably about a month ago. Got it sent to my compressor guy, Gary Olson. We got it back, so I'm going to try to do a little bit of disassemble. So one of the first things we're going to do tonight, we're going to get the ammo belt out. And I've kind of just got it set in the housing right now. A little bit of a trick to get it over the edge, and it is a finger pincher. We'll get everything out of here. If I can grab it just right here. Get it out of all its tracks that we got it kind of just jammed in there right now. And like that, we got her out. And it will get your fingers. But usually when you find one of these, the belt's missing. Make sure before you purchase that machine, you find that ammo belt, because they're out there, but sometimes very expensive. I want to make sure on all the rollers before we go back together. I just want to make sure all the rollers are kind of in good shape. But we're going to take this bottom plate off here right quick. See if we can get it out of there. Let me get my driver out here. If you're changing the compressor out, you will need to get all this taken out to get the job done. Get this top housing out of there. Fan blade off. One thing about the upper fan motor on these, when you purchase one, make sure you get one. That thing is running all the time. Typically, you know, they run inside of a cooled atmosphere. This particular one is mounted to the outside of the machine, and they're probably close to high $200, $290 to close to $300 for that motor. Make sure when you purchase one, you get one that's long life, that can handle it. There might be some cheaper versions out there, but buy one that you know will last, because it's not an easy thing to change out. It's a long ways to go back in if that thing goes back out. I've done several 51s. They're not just everywhere. In the day, they were the competitor against the Vendo 39. Well, the Vendo 39 was probably outproduced this one probably. I'd say there's probably 2 to these for every 10 39s produced, so not a whole lot of these 51s. The rack assembly is a little bit different, where the Vendo 39's in a turning drum. So we got, let's get this back off, and I'll show you where this high dollar motor's at. That motor right there is the one that it runs all the time. It's actually got this is probably the original one in there. There's a little place to put oil in it. Back in the day, you know, you lubricated those electric motors. Not sure I need to even take this housing off, but I'm going to. I'm sure this was a guard for heat to keep from getting it damaged. But you can see the little oiler there. You just don't see that anymore. Everything's sealed up now. But that little, it looks like it had a rubber cap on it one time so you could lubricate to the front side. And I think this looks like a place to lubricate this here too. So we're going to get this pulled off here. This rail will have to come off. It looks like a lot of work to do to do the compressor. It's not too bad. I think when I get this all apart, I may run it down to the car wash and give that bottom area a really good washing, because it's pretty dirty. But this is the motor you want to make sure you get it replaced. It's a one-time purchase. It's crazy money, and I think a lot of it is due to it's sitting out in the environment. It's just running 24/7. It never shuts off. Oop, not another one here. Well, got another one. Now let's try it. Need to look before I talk, I guess. Okay, so that motor, we've got one ordered. Hopefully have it here probably sometime in the middle of this week. Be probably one of the last things we put back in. But make sure you get that rail off, gets this back plate off. As you can see, that cover is going to have to come off. It unbolts 4 different screws here, and it's ready to come off. I think one of the big cost factors, this has got a special seat on the front of this, and probably this motor, there's probably not a whole lot of housings that use that special seat. I think that raises the price, and obviously the long shaft. But that is your upper motor. So let's take a look, see what our cabinet looks like. Not too bad. Those wheels should spin like that, and they're not. So we're going to get them broke loose, see if we can get them all freed up. Yeah, they're tight. They are tight. It is dirty, dirty, dirty. We got a little bit of electrical we need to remove there, I see. Okay, we're going to take the door off before we go to the car wash with this. We're going to lean this forward, and we're not going to put any blocks on this. We'll just let the weight of the machine push it forward just a little bit, and right there you're unlocked. That's better than trying to get this big old heavy dog unloaded. All right. Looks like at one time this one had a fountain on it. Somebody's taken it off. But overall, pretty good looking machine. These started out as a total red machine. They got white capped. They put that little chrome strip on there. So I want to say this particular machine, just looking at it's got the screwed on trim, but this side's not. I want to say this is a later machine. When you usually see an update, they either put some tape on there or something, but I think the only reason they put the screws on here is to just keep the trim from popping off. It looks like they've had some trouble with the trim coming off. But this side here's got trim that you'd have to take off from the inside of the machine. I don't think they're going to tear that machine all the way down to do a color change. So I want to say this machine did come this way, so definitely a later version. Still got the ice cold on the bottom, and I think probably all the 51s that I've seen have always had the ice cold on there. But looks like everything is here. So we're going to head to the car wash with this, and we'll be right back. All right, we've got the cabinet kind of cleaned up. Needs a little bit of a coating. We are ready to start putting the compressor in. Gary did a great job. Really come out nice. That cabinet looks a lot better than when we started, that's for sure. But let you take a look at the compressor as we're unpacking it right now, actually. But look at that. It's a long ways from what we sent off several months ago. But let's get this unpacked, and we'll start getting this slid back in and see if we can get this thing fired up. So hang on, I'll be right back, and we'll get this compressor going back into this Cavalier. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. We're doing a little bit of an update on the Cavalier 51. We're going to be using the Vivid Restore on the entry plate. We're going to tape off half of it here. We've got it taped off. We're going to get us about 1 inch or 2, and we're going to buff this plate out just with the Vivid Restore, just see what it'll do. It's severely pitted, But we're gonna see if we can do a little bit of cleanup. We'll get this really close so you can kind of watch this. Starting to get a little bit off. Got some pretty deep pits to it. I think we'll get it cleaned up pretty good. Obviously it won't be perfect, but get a long shot from where it was at. Put a new compressor in. We've got it running right now. Just cleaning it up for the customer. Probably picking it up this week. So I thought we'd just do a little bit of detail cleaning. Kind of make this thing look really nice. Let's wipe that off now. Use a little bit of the extreme detailer on it. Give it a last little clean up here. Definitely looks a lot better. A little bit of the pitting taken out. So let's take a look what our before and after here. Definitely can see the line difference. Just up there where you can see it really good. If you've got some stainless on yours, just want to get it cleaned up. Great product. Vivid Restore. Amazon right now, $19.95. Obviously free shipping if you got Prime, but hey, try to get all that stainless cleaned up. We're going to work on all the plates on this tonight, but I thought I'd just give you a little bit of before and after there. Man, it looks really pretty impressive for no longer than we worked on it there. But we'll continue on and can see if we can get this thing cleaned up. Big difference in that stainless though. Man, obviously the only way you can get it better is get it taken off, send it to the chrome shop and let them get all those pits out of there. But you know, for a cleaned up unit, not bad. Not bad at all. We'll move over to the selection door. We'll use compound on the paint. See if we can get some of this old finish, see if we can get this old finish brought back to life. Wow, big difference. Big difference. We'll hit it one more time. That really does a fantastic job for no more time than we spent on it. Really cleaned it up nice. We'll continue on with the paint finish and we'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Sodatime Restoration. We've got the Cavalier 51 complete. Kind of just an update on this one. Had a bad compressor. The ammo belt in the area was not working, so we're just going to give you a shot of kind of what we did. The Cavalier 51 was produced in the 50s, from about 51 to about 58. Obviously, when you see a white cap Cavalier 51, you know it was a later production, because then it went from a nickel to a dime. So probably 57 into 57, 58, this machine became a white cap. I think this was not a redone one. This was actual chrome trim on here. So I think this was an actual late production 1957, 58. But we kind of just did an update on the compressor. Compressor was locked up. We're going to give you a shot of that right quick here. It is running right now from 28 to 35 degrees, which is perfect. Right where I like to have them. But as you see in the inside, the item that everybody throws away back in the 60s and 70s is now what everybody's looking for. The ammo belt is usually missing. So if you're buying a Cavalier 51, make sure this is in there, because they're tough to find, and when you do find them, they're probably $300 or $400, maybe $500. But we kind of cleaned the ammo belt up, the inner cabinet, so all the water will be self-contained. A new upper fan motor, which if you're buying an upper fan motor, that thing runs 24/7. When you plug this in, it's never going to shut off. So make sure the supplier you buy that fan motor from is one that can handle that type of time frame. But let me give you a shot down here, down low. Got the little mason jar down here, which is kind of unique. New compressor, probably see the compressor a little better from the back side. new fan motor up in the upper part. I'll give you a shot of the coin mech, and I'll show you what happens on the coin mech if you're having coins dropping through in it and you can't figure out why it won't accept your coins. I'll give you a shot here what probably is happening. There's a little flipper switch on the inside here, and what is kind of a cool idea, so when the bottles are hitting this piece right here, that shows there's a bottle in place for the next coin. And when you shut the door, I'll show you what's changing here. What is actually flipping is this piece right here. And if there's no bottles in there, those coins are going to fall through or get jammed up in the machine. So as long as there's bottles in there, usually no problems. But if it gets to where it just keeps falling through there and there is actual bottles ready to come through the chute, you've got probably a lever right here that is not getting flipped correctly. So that is something to look at if you got a 51. Let's drop some coins through here. This one's on a dime, and I do have a Coke coming up in place here. So make sure your handle is flipped over to the right. Should be in that lock position right there. Pop your money in. You'll usually hear it fall right into the cradle. That coin is what is actually opening the gate. And this usually pushes kind of hard because you're turning this whole rack. So get it down, should come back up. There's your bottle. And it's cold. I bet this bottle's 32 degrees. I've had this running for a couple of weeks, turned it back on last night. I had it off for about a week, and man, it's just purring like a kitten. So, hey, if you are looking at a 51, these machines are very updatable. The information on them is still out there. You can still get some parts. There's just certain areas watch out for. You know, don't buy one that's all stripped down. But hey, thanks for viewing. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one.